This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Hi, and welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Whether you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, you know that May in Indianapolis is a busy month for business with all the 500 festival activities, the Grand Prix, the Indy 500, attracting hundreds of thousands of fans. Truly, business opportunities abound. May is also Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month and International Trade Month. So there are many exciting things to unpack over this month. Over the next few weeks, we intend to do that by providing you with information and inspiration to start and grow your own business, delivered through our 7 core strategies: getting started, gaining access to capital, keeping up with current business events, handling accounting and bookkeeping issues, and a variety of ways to help you run your business day to day. We also look at various industries and sprinkle in a success story or two to inspire. Our show is new every Sunday on Wish TV and streaming live on wishtv.com. And then we post each of our 7 weekly segments on our website, beoshow.com. There you can also find more resources and past episodes. You'll see a QR code pop up through the show. That'll conveniently take you directly to our website. Here's what's ahead this hour on Business, Equity, and Opportunities. We revisit the Entrepreneurship program at Warren Central's Walker Career Center. Small Business Week wrapped up Friday with the Impact Awards, and we'll meet some of the winners. Shea helps navigate the world of international trade. We visit a tech startup with a solution-based idea to help with diversity challenges for small business suppliers. And we draw our inspiration from our success story. Let's get started. The Indianapolis Office of Minority and Women Business Development names Image 360 the Certified Vendor of the Month for May. We were there as Director David Fredericks and Counselor Leroy Robinson made the presentation to the owners, Rajesh and Vidhya Patnaik.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
So we started about 12 years ago in 2012. It'll be 12 years in July. And I used to have an IT career. And she also used to work with an oil company previously. So we started thinking about what we can do on our own. And then we actually attended a franchise business expo in Chicago, where we met different franchises and all that. That's where we got in touch with a franchise broker, and he put in touch with Image 360. We liked them, their model. We talked to a few of their franchises in Chicago, in Merrillville, and a couple of other places. And then we decided to start. So that's how we got into the sign business. We had no idea about signs before we started this. So that was a little scary, but now it's been 12 years, so it's been good. I mean, we love it. We love this city, and we've worked with, so since we are certified as a minority business, we've worked with a lot of the city organizations like Indigo, Indy Parks, the library, Indianapolis Public Library, and
City 2.
City 2. So, and we've gotten to work with a lot of the general contractors also on multiple city projects. In fact, I think we did a little bit of work at the Community Justice Center that was built, I think, a couple of years ago. So it's been great.
95% of the people, business people, are totally small businesses like us.
Clients.
And we have a lot of them as a repeat clients, and they appreciate quality, and even if and they keep coming back to us. And our business has grown because of the word of mouth. Basically, for us to be new without any networking, we jumped into the water, and they helped us out. And they give us the inspiration to go ahead.
All the opportunities that I told you about that we worked with the city, that has been because of the certification. A lot of times we've been asked to bid based on certification. And we have gotten a lot of work out of it, for sure. So now, I think I was mentioning to the counselor earlier, we have a second location on the south side of Indianapolis. So that is already in progress. So now we have to bring that center up to a certain level, like what we have here. It'll take, that has got more space than this place. So we've got to put a little more machines there. And hopefully we'll bring that up to the level as this center in the next 2 or 3 years. That's the plan. We are really proud of, like she mentioned earlier, we came to this city in 2011, 2012 we started this. So, and without knowing anybody in town, literally, I mean, we were very new. but we've gotten a lot of support.
A lot of
there's
good
no question
people
about it.
around,
A lot of
and
good people around.
a lot of people who helped us out.
A lot of them have come back. They keep coming back to us, working with us for the last, and we've had clients with us for the last 8-10 years at least. Yeah, which is very heartwarming.
And small business people.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're all
it's
small
not like,
businesses. All small businesses. Which is good.
Each
Yeah.
and everybody has been a kind of a, motivating
Yeah,
factor.
and
for
they have
our
been
growth.
great spokespersons for us. Oh, I would say be prepared for tough times for at least a couple of years. Don't expect to, bring in a lot of big bucks for that time. Be prepared. You have to have enough, staying power for at least a couple of years, and then, and don't lose heart, because it's tough. It's not, it's not easy, but you will get there if you put in the hard work. You put in the, you have the right people with you, the right team working with you, which we have. We've been blessed. You will achieve it. There's no doubt about it.
If you have a business story you'd like to share, tell us about it. We'd love to hear. Email us at beo@wishtv.com. Coming up, we get a progress report from the first entrepreneurship class at Walker Career Center. Spoiler alert, it's very good news. Stay with us.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Time to see more of the important work from the Entrepreneurship program at Warren Central's Walker Career Center. Met the inaugural class for the first time late last year. This week we return to check on the progress of the students as they learn to access capital, facing potential investors at the upcoming Future Entrepreneurs Pitch Competition.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Access to capital.
So when we first spoke, the kids were still doing their brainstorming and trying to find an idea, not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but make an idea better. And so now that we are in second semester, they are working on planning, making sure that their presentation is well written, and making sure that they have prototypes. Definitely things that I'll be tweaking next year, making sure that we start the process a little bit sooner. We spent a lot of time brainstorming, and the reason we did that is a lot of kids don't know what they want to do. And that's fair, because especially being a teenager, nobody knows where they want to be in 10, 15 years. So I think if we could shorten that and maybe do more brainstorming activities and get the ball rolling sooner will definitely help. We've had anywhere from NFL players, we've had people with P30 come in, we've had people invite us to after school programs. So it's definitely gotten the word out there and people are dying to get in. So we're hoping that we have a couple of our groups go and present in front of investors. It is open to the public, but we're trying not to make it such of a huge deal because we do have our sophomores who aren't quite there yet, and we don't want people wasting their time, but it is going to be an opportunity where they can get some seed money or even just have a partnership or a mentorship with the investor. So it's definitely going to be a big deal. So only a few of them did the actual statewide competition. So some of them haven't even been on stage yet. So we only have 6 groups that have gone. So the rest of my groups are just nervous about being in front of those big time people. So we've been working on presenting in front of different classes, getting their prototypes and their pitch nailed down. I just hope that they leave this class with something that they're proud of. Not necessarily getting an offer from an investor, but maybe like a partnership or a mentorship where they can lean on somebody to get more feedback, and then they're proud of the opportunities that they got. I'm super excited. The ideas that they've come up with is really great, and I think some of them can actually get that offer from an investor. They just have to be willing to keep pushing and get to that elite status and not the high school status.
I didn't really know what to expect going into it. It was more just a whole new experience and just something fun to do, like the whole process of coming up with this and adding on to it. It's really made me more comfortable with just pursuing whatever I want to do. I'm just looking to walk away with something that can stay in my mind and push me forward to the next level.
It means a lot, you know, coming from a home where you're just used to minimum wage and working for somebody is different to step in the field to where you can set something up for yourself. Most important takeaway I took from this is connections. It means a lot. It means a lot. You know, just staying focused on something, keeping me busy, keeping my partner busy. We're working to change something in the world, actually. It feels good.
Even as a kid, I wanted to be my own boss, you know, my own entrepreneur. And, you know, when Mrs. Bryant gave me the opportunity my sophomore year, she asked me, did I want to, you know, be in this class? And I was like, yeah, like, you know, this is definitely something I want to do. And, you know, it just really sparked a big interest for mine. And I'm super excited that I was be able to, you know, be here. I've learned like a lot of like skills, just like in general, like to be, you know, like confident in yourself. And then I've learned how to make my own like decisions, like as a boss. She's taught me how to do multiple things, such as, you know, make my own pitch deck, make my own like business cards, make my own logo and everything like that. She's gave me every tool that, you know, I've needed to create my own business. I'm just gonna have to capitalize on it. I'm gonna just keep going, like regardless if I win, lose, you know, I'm gonna take criticism, I'm gonna take every point that they give me, and I'm gonna, you know, go into next year and, you know, during the summer, you know, do whatever I need to do in order to make sure I'm on top.
We will be there to follow the class through the competition to see how the aspiring entrepreneurs do, and we'll bring you the results. Coming up this hour, a new report on the Amazon data center. Huge news for Indiana, what it means for the state. That's coming up as Business Equity and Opportunities returns.
Swinging the savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. We've even added an interactive map at wishtv.com and the Wish TV app for easy navigation to each course.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season.
Don't miss out on the ultimate golfing experience. Join the Great Golf Club today.
Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Great Golf Club Card 2024 is brought to you by Circulus Digital Media. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome once again. Time for the story behind what's billed as the largest capital investment ever in the state. Last week, news broke that Amazon is bringing an $11 billion data center campus to the South Bend area. Economic development officials estimate that means at least 1,000 new jobs. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist finds the data center is part of a larger strategy to bring jobs to the future of Indiana.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
It's huge and, you know, the largest deal in state history, but it comes on the back of back-to-back record years. We've also had the largest quarter in state history to start 2024, and then now announcing the largest deal. It truly proves out that the strategy of going after the economies of the future, telling the Indiana story, being bold in our message to the world is paying off, and the records have continued to prove out.
The project consists of multiple data centers in an area around New Carlisle in St. Joseph County. It will bring about 1,000 new jobs, though there's no word yet on how many of those are permanent.
And what's really exciting about these it is not just data center specific, but this is truly feeding the ecosystem for next gen AI. And so as we add more semiconductor companies to the state, including SK Hynix, the 6th largest semiconductor company in the world, and partnering those with data centers, we truly are the mecca for next gen AI, building that entire ecosystem for the future.
Amazon's data centers, like this one in Eastern Oregon, hold servers, data storage drives, and networking equipment, among other things. Indiana is giving Amazon nearly $100 million in tax credits. Amazon can't take them until the company makes the required investments.
Every incentive that goes out the door is performance-based. So a company only receives those if they meet their hiring goals or meet their investment goals. So, and the incentives are a function of the taxes that are paid by a company. And so it's a calculation based on that. But again, the incentives are only granted and awarded if a company performs.
In return, company officials have agreed to put up to $7 million toward road improvements around the campus, including to State Highway 2. They've also created a community investment fund. It will support initiatives around STEM education, the environment, and homelessness in the South Bend area.
It's a true partnership between the locals, the electric utility, the water utility, the university, and workforce partners to ensure that that company has that long-term success. And so they've been deep in negotiations with all providers to ensure that they have not only what they need, for the current time, but also well into the future, so they can operate for the next 50 years very successfully.
Business experts say New Carlisle is an ideal location. Data centers need lots of water and cool temperatures. Building close to Lake Michigan means both. And Amazon's data centers pay well. That means more income tax revenue and a lot more customers for local businesses.
Probably the biggest impact is that you're going to see an increase in service consumption. Services consumption. So we're talking about services that individuals, because they're making a good wage, that they're going to be able to buy, let's say in terms of childcare, shopping services, spa, salon, types of things, people hiring other people to help them with their homes. And we may see a spur in home remodeling in the region as well.
What we've seen is just incredible economic development. But what's most important is that nearly 70% of the deals that the IDC does is with current businesses operating in the state to expand and grow. And so while these large investments get a lot of the headlines, as they should, and it's very exciting for the state and will bring more jobs and opportunities, it also benefits our Hoosier businesses that are operating now. Again, 70% of the deals we do are with growing Hoosier businesses that exist in the state today. And so we think a rising tide lifts all boats, and AWS coming to our economy, bringing the jobs, bringing their supply chain and the workforce with them will benefit Hoosier businesses throughout the state.
Our thanks to Garrett Berquist, Wish TV's government reporter, for this story. Indiana Secretary of Commerce David Rosenberg told Wish TV that small and minority business owners will be included in contract negotiations as construction and planning gets underway. We will talk more about supplier diversity challenges and opportunities coming up later in this show. May is International Trade Month. CFO Shea has insights on how to handle global opportunities. That and more ahead on Business Equity and Opportunities.
Also in This Week in Business.
Small Business Week wrapped up Friday with the 2024 Indiana Small Business Impact Awards Luncheon, highlighting outstanding entrepreneurs, small business owners, resource partners. Special recognition went to the SBA Indiana Exporter of the Year, WSI Technologies of Indianapolis, SBDC Excellence and Innovation Center Award to Northwest Indiana Small Business Development Center, Crown Point. Women's Business Center of Excellence to WEOC WBC at the Northeast Indiana Innovation Center, Fort Wayne. And we're very proud to announce that the Person of the Year award for Indiana went to DeJuan McCoy.
It's my pleasure to present the 2024 SBA Indiana Small Business Person of the Year award to DeJuan McCoy, owner, president, and CEO of Circle City Broadcasting.
CEO of Circle City Broadcasting, Wish TV, our boss here. Congratulations to all the award winners and the Small Business Administration for all that it does to grow the entrepreneurship across the United States.
This Week in Business is made possible by InnoPower.
This is a multicultural program, so it's a time for people from all different areas in life to come together and learn.
Giving people that opportunity with a different voice from different demographics is very inspirational to see.
And it's just been so amazing, so informative, lots of new information to be able to see how the news is created behind the scenes.
I have only imagined that I would be in a program like this, learning how to put different TV program levels together, but I don't have to imagine anymore.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season. Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Brought to you by Circulus Digital Media. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back. Time to talk about a huge moment for a small business when a local idea gets national and international opportunities. Shea looks at what to do when those moments hit.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
I think the important thing as businesses are expanding into these new spaces, new unknown spaces, is to make sure you're getting proper advisement from professionals who are, spend their day-to-day in these sandboxes and can help you make sure you navigate and follow all of the rules and avoid any potential pitfalls that you unknowingly could fall into just because you're not used to, working in this realm. I think, some of the things that are often advised is, keep very detailed records, probably extend and expand your record retention by X period of time, just to make sure you have all that documentation in case it comes down to it. But it certainly can be a complicated field to jump into for a neophyte. It's research, do your due diligence, and talk with people who can do some due diligence on your behalf, right? So, in the US here, we have to, check on trademarks and things like that. Well, are there any complications beyond, our states here that, you may have to address, and certainly cultural issues, and quite literally a different world out there. And so, and each country may have different rules that they play by. So, do your proper research before you get headed down the wrong path and end up, making a mistake and having to pay for it potentially. Yeah, and like a lot of businesses, they're cyclical in nature. And for some businesses, they really ramp up in the summer. Construction companies, for instance, their businesses may pick up. Others may slow down a bit, particularly your finance folks. And so it's a good opportunity to, like you said, kind of review that annual checklist and maybe knock some of those things off. Maybe make sure you're, addressing those. If you have some extra time, take a look at your budget, how you're performing. You're almost, halfway into the year. How are things looking, and do you need to adjust expectations, forecasts, and have those discussions with, your ownership group or anyone who's financing you. So now can be a really good time after that kind of that post-tax slowdown to catch your breath and get caught up on some of those items you may have, put to the side for a period of time. Yeah, it's never too early to spend a little time looking ahead and having that, 30,000 foot view of the company and how things are going. I know it's easy for a lot of us to get caught up in the day-to-day and then week to week, but a good a business owner or the financial people with your business should always have an eye towards the future and keeping an eye on changing trends that can affect your business, but also what's happening internally. Yeah, I mean, there's different rules of thumb for budgeting and things of that nature. Some people will take a kind of a conservative tack, right? So even if things do slide a little bit, they can still meet those numbers and still, like they had a good year to to the folks that see their financials. Others are more aggressive, and it depends on how well you know your business. It depends on how well you know your market. Some businesses are relatively inelastic to how the market may perform. And so, if you know that even if there's a slight downturn, you're still going to have a good business model and still perform well, then you don't need to take that into consideration as much as other businesses that wildly fluctuate with the economy. And so I think it always helps to have, as you're doing your forecasting and projecting, best case, most likely case, worst case scenarios. And how would the company pivot in the event that you hit that worst case scenario? Better be solid in your own backyard before you expand to new horizons, certainly.
Up next, Emil Ekior weighs in on supplier diversity in Indiana. Coming up on Business Equity and Opportunity.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. We've even added an interactive map at wishtv.com and the Wish TV app for easy navigation to each course.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season.
Don't miss out on the ultimate golfing experience. Join the Great Golf Club today.
Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Great Golf Club Card 2024 is brought to you by Circulus Digital Media. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. Emil Ekior is the founder of InnoPower and a Wish TV News contributor. He stopped by this week to talk about supplier diversity and how it can create a fair, competitive, and equitable business environment.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
So in the state of Indiana, we know this. There are huge opportunities in supplier diversity. Indianapolis has really done a phenomenal job of making supplier diversity local, meaning the formation of Business Equity for Indy, where a lot of our big companies here in the city said, you know what, we want to give Black and brown businesses more access, more opportunities to get contracts with us. We're one of the few cities that have done that, where we made supplier diversity a local, city-focused issue, right? How do we solve that problem? How do we give more access? Then we have the city itself, who has the Office of Minority Women and Business Development, who works to make sure that minority businesses are having access to contractual opportunities. So they do that as a city, and they have goals around that they have to meet. Then you have Business Equity for Indy, that's doing that with companies coming together to do that. So we are really positioned in a unique situation in Indianapolis to really maximize this opportunity. But what we haven't done, and there's no blaming to anybody, because when we formed Business Equity for Indy, it was during a time, during George Floyd, COVID, there was a huge need and people wanted to come together and do something. The next step for that is the bold goals around what we're doing. What are our goals for 5 years out? Where do we want to be? How do we measure the number of businesses that are certified? How do we prepare businesses for certification? How do we measure bids? How many businesses bidded for contracts this year? How many actually won? How many didn't win? How do we take the ones that didn't win and prepare them so the next time around? So we need to get a lot more granular around how we do this. And confident a lot of people are looking at this, a lot of people understand that that's the next step. So those are the opportunities we have as a city is, what are our goals? What are the metrics that we're going to measure to make sure we're winning? How do we make sure that the businesses have the capital required, right? So give you an example. I'm a business, I get a contract with Cummins. And Cummins says, hey, it's net 60. You get paid in 60 days. The small business owner says, wow, I got to staff up, I got to get equipment. Ooh, how do I carry this for 60 days? I need some assistance. Well, because I'm a small business, I may not have the history. I can't walk into a bank and get the loan to do this. So we need alternate sources of credit, of loans or financing for this business, capital. So today the city has BOI. BOI has a couple $100,000 in place to support this, but we need way more than a couple $100,000. So those kind of things that we can improve on as a city to make sure that our businesses are getting the capital support to go execute and also to compete for contracts too, right? So those are the opportunities that we have, but really what Indianapolis has done in the last 4 years compared to a lot of cities around the country, we are way ahead from other cities. And we have a long ways to go, but we're doing so much better than what other cities have done. So the one thing that we should let businesses know is when you go to bid for a contract, you're competing for that contract. Nobody's obligated just to give you a contract because you have a business. You're actually competing with other businesses to get that contract. So how do we prepare you to compete, right? And that's the key word is we can prepare you, but we have to prepare you to go compete for this contract. And then how do we put you in a better situation so you can win the contract? So that's one thing. The other thing is how do I know what's out there? How do I know what contracts exist? Today, businesses have to go to so many different platforms to try and find where the contracts are. To have one location, a one-stop shop where you could go see, here are the contracts available, and the big companies can also look and see that here are the minority businesses that are certified that I can tap into. That is a game changer for Indianapolis. To have a platform to go to where that exists, where I can see, here are all the contracts that are out there, here's what fits me, here's the process, and then the companies can go into a platform to say, we're looking for minority businesses, here are all the businesses that we can tap into, because we hear this quite a bit. The businesses say, well, we're looking for minority businesses and we can't find them. Well, the company is not obligated to really go out and search. They're giving out the contract. So if they had the place to just go see that, game changer. So the next couple of years will look like this. We have goals. The city has goals, but those goals are set by the city. As a community, we need to come out and set goals to say, here's where we want to be. We need to have this percentage of contracts going to minority businesses, not because we're saying give it to minority businesses, because they're going to be ready to compete and execute these contracts. Here's where we want to be. We want to have this much capital infused into the ecosystem of supplier diversity to support these businesses so when they get this contract, they can execute it. What are those numbers? How much capital do we need? How are we going to get that capital? We have a goal for that. We're going to measure this in real time to make sure we actually win it. What are those metrics that we're going to measure? Are we going to measure number of businesses certified, number of businesses that bidded for a contract, number of businesses that actually won a contract? All of those numbers we measure to see are we winning, are we moving the needle? That way we can adjust in real time and not wait 5 years to adjust. So those are the kind of things, because supplier diversity in our city is a big, big opportunity for minority businesses. And when we say minority, that's under the umbrella of minority. Women, African American, Latino, gay and lesbian, everybody. Huge opportunities for our community. So how do we make sure these opportunities are being maximized? And we're doing some good things, like we said, but we can get a lot more granular about what we're doing and deliberate.
Running your business day to day is made possible by Circulus Digital Media.
If you'd like more information about this Running Your Business Day-to-Day segment or any of those on today's show, follow the QR code to our website. It's veoshow.com. Coming up, we meet one of the partners of a business venture that has developed an innovative way to help with the diverse supplier chain. You're watching Business Equity and Opportunity. Stay with us.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Time to focus on an industry. Leslie Crane is a supplier of diversity technology. Her new company, Diversifind, is an innovative application that solves the problem of connecting diverse suppliers with the companies that want to partner and expand their supply chain.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
My name is Leslie Crane, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Diversifind. Diversifind is a platform, it's an online platform that allows diverse-owned companies to market themselves to other companies that are looking to diversify their spend. And when we say diverse companies, we mean really any traditionally underrepresented group. So think women, minorities, veterans, LGBTQIA+. They're all included in that category. At the time, I was doing consulting with diverse groups and companies who wanted to do business with diverse groups. And what we quickly found out was that while there's definitely a market for consulting in this space, a lot of diverse-owned companies don't have the budget to hire someone to help them market themselves, or they don't know where to find opportunities to do business with larger companies. And my business partner and I thought to ourselves, there has to be a better way, a more efficient way, and a way to bring technology to the forefront to find an economy of scale, to find those opportunities, to allow these diverse companies to market themselves. And so sort of Diversifind was born out of that lived experience. Before my time as an entrepreneur, I spent some time in private legal practice and then time in government. My last post in government was at the Indiana Department of Administration, where one of my responsibilities was to help certify and do contract compliance and business outreach through the team there, the Division of Supplier Diversity team. And so through that experience, I really got a passion for working with diverse, largely small business. And I think once you have that experience and you see those diverse companies grind it out every single day, trying to grow, trying to figure things out, looking for business opportunities for themselves, you can't help but want to figure out a better way, a clearer way forward, and you want to try to help them solve the problems that they're having. And then once my business partner and I kind of went out on our own and saw those problems on our own, because we're a women-owned business, right? We're certified. And we'd seen it from the government side, we'd seen it from the small business side, we'd seen it from our own perspective. I think we felt like we were uniquely qualified to figure this out from a different angle, right? So we'd done it from a consulting perspective, and now we're tackling it from a technology angle. I think if we're seeing trends, we're seeing more trends not on the actual side of the small, diverse business, we're seeing more trends in the needs of the partners. So we're seeing functions that they want to add to the platform. So different sets of specific codes, for example, related to construction, the ability to have a calendar that allows different businesses to upload all of their outreach events so they don't schedule over each other. So we spend a lot of time interviewing clients, potential clients, things in the particular areas that we're working in right now to say, what are your needs? Where are your pain points? How can we address them and sort of wrestle those buffaloes to the ground so that we can tackle the next thing? Because we know if we get those things out of the way, that's more runway for the diverse businesses. So we're trying to, identify those issues and knock them out. And we spend a lot of time sort of doing those interviews so that we can make what we've built as meaningful as it can possibly be. That's one of our sort of next iterations, is how can we collect that data? We collect it behind the scenes now, sort of in the way LinkedIn does. But we are down the road looking to collect those more human-facing stories. My company found this opportunity. How can we collect those stories? Because those are very meaningful to us. I would say more for us, what has been meaningful is how can we build what we're building to be more meaningful and more user-friendly? That's more what we're looking for at this moment. Really, our ideal thing would be put ourselves out of business, right? So nobody needs, because we've erased inequity. Putting that aside, we really want to be the one-stop supplier diversity shop. So we're looking to build out, we've already got the ability for folks to look for diverse suppliers, which is awesome. We have over 5,000 diverse suppliers in our platform. So if you're looking for somebody, you can find them. In addition to that, we host solicitation opportunities, anything we can find. So if you're looking for an opportunity to collaborate with a corporate partner, we host those inside our platform, which is huge because it really streamlines the process of, what are some business opportunities for my company. That exists right now. But down the road, we're trying to harness AI. How can we figure out the best way to match opportunities, to be predictive in, what's coming down the pike. We are going to build a certification backbone so that our certification platform is as seamless and easy so you can do it all in one place. Store your documents, make that as intuitive as possible, because right now one barrier we find regularly is, my certification is expired or it's really close and I can't get this business. So I would say making what we have built as easy and as one stop as possible for both sides of the supplier diversity equation. Our team talks a lot to folks, diverse suppliers, corporate partners, everybody in between about what we've built or what we're considering building. And along the way, not a single person has ever said to us, "Why are you doing that?" So it is very validating to us to have had an idea, planted it, watered it, watching it grow, and to have nobody ever say, "I don't understand." But I'm sure you talk to lots of folks who have had an idea and have started. It's very much that notion of taking a step without seeing the next one. It's a little nerve-wracking, but no one has ever started a business and thought, "I've got it, totally, no problem." So it's all of the things, all at the same time.
If you'd like more information about this or any of our industry-focused segments, give us a visit at beoshow.com. When we return, we'll treat you to a success story. Keep it here.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. We've even added an interactive map at wishtv.com and the Wish TV app for easy navigation to each course.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season.
Don't miss out on the ultimate golfing experience. Join the Great Golf Club today.
Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Great Golf Club Card 2024 is brought to you by Circulus Digital Media.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Our hour is drawing short for this week's success story. Our Business Equity and Opportunities cameras found inspiration at the new home for the original farmers market, Monument Circle.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities Success Story.
So hi, I'm Pauline. I'm a French baker, born and raised in France. I just moved in the US 6 years ago. And it's not my first job. I was missing bread from France, so I started to do it myself. So I was baking during COVID, like a lot of us started baking at home, and I was baking for my friends first, and they say, "You need to sell it, we are missing French bread in Indy." And that's how I started it, just baking from home. I do everything from home. So far it's pretty good. I sell a lot of baguettes, for sure. I would say between 50 and 100 a week. So it's a lot of work. I do only farmers market for now. I sell from home too, so I have the website and you can order online, but basically it's almost, I would say 99% on the farmers markets. I would say it's easier than in France, for sure. The big deal is finding the right markets for your products. And now it's my second year doing it, so I know which one are gonna work or not. So it's easier for me to know, and I start having my customers coming back. So yeah, that's it mostly. I would love to open kind of a French bistro and do the bread, but having a lot of dessert too, and specific French dishes. So it's gonna be my next step. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to go there, but I already thinking about growing up into more restaurants and a bakery, but yeah. So I need to learn, I need to test a lot of stuff, and like finding the right recipe with the right oven and all of this, it has been a challenge for sure, yeah. I didn't get out with all of this in one day for sure. And I like it, like I like being able to be in my kitchen and just knowing that people are gonna enjoy what I'm doing, so yeah, it's great. Having people coming every Saturdays to the market or every Wednesdays to the market and buying my products again and again make me think that I'm doing something good and like they like it and they're asking for more, so next step is gonna be the croissant, the pain au chocolat and all of that stuff. But yeah, for that I need a bigger kitchen because as I said, I bake from home and I don't have a huge space. I have the same oven as all of you have in your kitchen. So yeah, it's gonna be my next step to trying to find a commercial kitchen and trying to be able to grow this. Because right now it's at home, I have the kids, so when I'm out of school, I'm still baking, but they're asking every 2 minutes for something. So yeah, I would like to have a space outside of the home for sure. So I'm gonna be at this farmer market every Wednesdays, almost. They can find on my website, so it's Shea Bakery. I have all of the planning of all of my markets for the summer. I'm gonna be in Broad Ripple, Noblesville, and Fishers too, all summer, so from May to October.
Thank you for joining us for Business Equity and Opportunities. Our thanks to the many people who contributed. Without your help, none of this would be possible. You'll find a link to all of our segments on our website, beoshow.com. Scan the QR code, it'll take you right there. And if you have questions or a suggestion, we want to hear them. Send us an email at beo@wishtv.com. We look forward to having you join us next week for our 100th episode and more Business Equity and Opportunities. Till then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great day.
Business, Equity, and Opportunities made possible by InnoPower, Bose McKinney & Evans, Gemco, Fifth Third Bank, and Indiana University, Indianapolis.
Swing into savings with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card.
Each card gets you a round of golf at 23 premier Central Indiana courses. Save over 75% off regular rates for the 2024 golf season. Visit wishtv.com/sports to get your Great Golf Club membership. Brought to you by Circulus Digital Media.